Today, I've got the energy, and I'm indeed bringing you the content you've requested about INDIO SERERE. Yes, INDIO SERERE. Many sunflowers out there want to know. No one else is talking about it. The media isn't covering INDIO SERERE. No one has any news about INDIO SERERE. How is it that INDIO SERERE remains imprisoned for such a long time? We've been talking about INDIO SERERE. Back then, there was an apology to the esteemed emperor, believing that perhaps he would be released afterward, but that's not what happened. Generations of us are feeling sad, mournful, and furious. The media isn't addressing INDIO SERERE. Nobody has any news about INDIO SERERE. How is it that INDIO SERERE remains imprisoned for such a long time? We've been discussing INDIO SERERE. Back then, there was an apology to the esteemed emperor, thinking that perhaps he would be released after that, but that's not what occurred. We, generations, are sad, grieving, and indignant. With this situation, here's a shorter video, yet not lacking in quality like the ones I bring on Thursdays and Sundays. Already being in the energy of INDIO SERERE, I can assure you, because when I tap into someone's energy for consultations or videos, I already sense a lot about them. I can tell you that he's unwell, and that worries me. Even before opening the cards, I can tell you that INDIO is emotionally unwell. I sense a deep sadness, a profound depression that is amplifying. You see, our emotional state can also cause our bodies to react and manifest other illnesses, reflecting what's in our hearts. That's why it's always so crucial to maintain a positive heart despite the challenges of the world we live in. But we must always strive for the best for ourselves, channeling our energy. Our bodies, you see, they simply manifest sadness or anger. It's not the case with INDIO. The somatization is due to the injustice committed against him. So, what I sense about INDIO is a deep depression, an immense sadness, because he's far from his wife, far from his children, and he's been in that place for so long without proper assistance. It's a sadness I can't quite put into words for you, the emotional aspect of INDIO. A deep sadness, a profound depression, due to the injustice committed against him. So, what I sense about INDIO is a deep depression, an immense sadness, because he's far from his wife, far from his children, and he's been in that place for so long without proper assistance. It's a sadness I can't quite put into words for you, the emotional aspect of INDIO. A deep depression, but I also feel pains in my body, in my joints, pain in my knees, pain in my back, muscular pains. He's experiencing a lot of pain. He must have some kind of illness, like diabetes or something in that vein, because I sense the symptoms of diabetes. I also have it, so I can speak with accuracy. I feel he's physically very weak, alright? He's alive, yes, he's alive. The energy I sense is that of a living person. I say this because it's concerning. I haven't yet opened the cards for you to reveal what I can about INDIO through the light of spirituality, but from the energy I feel here, he is very ill both emotionally and physically. He would undoubtedly need medical attention, proper nutrition, which I'm not feeling. Do you understand? I sense significant weight loss in him. In short, the health of the indigenous people is very fragile. So, the emperor placed him there. I want to remind you that I will offer my opinion here. Now, I believe that the greatest violation of human rights in the history of Brazil was the imprisonment of INDIO SERERE. And if something were to happen based on the energy I'm sensing, before his release, it's going to complicate things for many people, especially for the emperor. But with your permission, you all know, in this extra video that never exceeds 10 minutes, I've already pre-shuffled and cut the cards. I simply open 9 cards here and reveal to you through the light of spirituality. However, as I mentioned, I don't know what will come out in our cards here today. I'm using this gypsy deck that I love so much. One option that will come from our cards, but I can tell you that I'm not comfortable with the energy of INDIO SERERE. INDIO SERERE is highly unwell, emotionally and physically. I don't like this, but let's proceed. We have 9 cards here on the table. Here, the wife of CDB appears. House 20, the garden, the house of the sarcophagus, the house of sentiment. What I mentioned earlier, I'm telling you now. What I sense from the energy of INDIO is exactly that. A deep sadness that I can't put into words for you. This deep sadness is clearly associated with depression. It's somatizing and exacerbating the illnesses he has, including a possible diabetes. He's in a very delicate situation, based on what I'm sensing. The house of the moon is here. I'll explain each one for you. The house of the fox, meaning the fox isn't for INDIO, but for the people keeping him there. The house of the cross, that means he's at risk of losing his life. Or if he survives, given his condition. The house of the steps, which signifies possible freedom, and the scythe. But I'll tell you, with authority, there's a lot of concern here. I don't have the energy of INDIO's wife here, I have his energy. However, I always say, when you live with someone, whether married or living together, you inevitably absorb each other's energy. That's why his wife's energy appeared here. She's overly concerned about a possible spiritual passing due to the conditions INDIO is in at the moment. Unfortunately, this possibility exists due to health issues before his release. Will he be freed? The emotional part one talked about earlier, here, is the house of the moon. In other words, it's difficult for someone to set him free. Very difficult, based on what I'm seeing here. Those who are keeping him imprisoned, well, they better watch out, because caution is needed. I'll explain why. In the house of the garden, his wife's energy appears, confirmed. The house of the garden helps the birds. This signifies a possible release. INDIO might be able to leave, it might not happen. He won't be freed until mid-December, perhaps a bit earlier. I don't like giving dates, you know that. We're in a transitional era, like regeneration. Due to this, I'm not pinpointing a date, but it won't go beyond December 2023. However, those who are keeping him imprisoned, be cautious. Due to his clinical health condition, the house of the scythe, the house of the coffin, the house of the cross, he might pass away before that. And if that happens, no matter how much the person who put him there thinks they're well protected, or superior, or untouchable, things are going to get really heated in Brazil. So, it's going to complicate matters for those keeping him there. He'll stay until December, he'll be released by December. But unfortunately, due to his delicate health condition, a spiritual passing could occur. Well, this was our video for today. I'm deeply saddened by this revelation, truly saddened, as I mentioned. The greatest violation of human rights in Brazil's history is this imprisonment of our INDIO. So, think carefully about who's keeping him there, because the situation is going to get complicated. Leave your thoughts in the comments, suggestions for future extra videos. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Much light to all of you, a kiss from a gypsy. Stay in the light. I'm here with a heavy heart, bringing this revelation, but we continue forward. Kisses from the sunflowers. I love you all. Goodbye.